Let's talk about the porn stuff. So what's the number one reason that you see people relapse? Like your clients, or maybe not, maybe it's former clients even. Is there a reason why? Like something that's pretty common?
Yeah, I've spent a lot of time this year really thinking about this. A, why can't a guy succeed, or why would he relapse? And I think I've narrowed it down to a very clear thing, and it's one of two reasons. Once they've identified and accepted that it's a problem, and they've committed to taking action in their life and removing it, a guy will only struggle and relapse due to one or two things: either lack of belief in and of himself that he can succeed, because chances are when you're struggling with this and you identify this problem, you've tried and failed over and over and over and over again. So most often you get to the point where it's like, can I even do this? Is it worth even trying? So it's a lack of belief or confidence in and of himself, or lacking character traits, discipline and willpower. And I believe this to my core. It is one of two reasons. You either don't believe that you can succeed, or you deserve a life with pornography, or you don't possess the necessary traits to not give in to the temptation and do the things that you know need to be done. It's delayed gratification. It's discipline. It's willpower. And when people hear this, it's no, that's not true, Frank. That's too simple. Like, we can get into it. I believe it at my core. It's either you do not believe that you either deserve it or you can succeed without it, or you just don't possess the necessary character traits inside to do the necessary things.
So the first time we talked, like you said, it was July last year. You challenged me to not look at porn ever again. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And honestly, after I did it, the commitment, it was pretty easy. I didn't even think about it for a couple months. And it's not something I did very often, but I would say once a month, I would get something would happen. Either I would get really depressed or horny, or I would get mad at God because I've been single so long, or something would happen. And about once a month, let's say. And so after that, it was a few months, didn't think about it. But then I think it was Halloween night. And I think I've even told you about it. And I was at a party, and there was probably girls walking around in outfits. Maybe that contributed to it. Some of it was just, I had a couple of drinks. I went home alone. I was depressed or upset that it's been a long time. And since then, there's been a few times, not many, but I would say I could probably count on one hand how many times I looked at porn since we did our podcast. Yeah, definitely on two hands, maybe one hand. I know, like, for me, yeah, I don't know where I rank in that. It, like, with the whole, do I consider it an addiction? For me, it's such a struggle to, like, it's the closest thing I can get to having sex. And, like, of course I can go somewhere in my mind. And I guess that's what I've reasoned to myself the few times that I've done it, is basically like, I deserve to be gratified in this way, and God's not giving it to me. And I'm going to take matters into my own hands. No pun intended.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, speak to that.
Can I push you a little bit here? Sure. Only because I love you, brother, and I consider you a very close friend. So you said a couple things there, and the last statement kind of proved my point, because you said I deserve something. What do you deserve? You have the greatest gift of all time. You have today. You have an opportunity today to live. Like, once that, I don't believe we deserve anything. That's it. I would classify that as a character trait. If you want my opinion, how I bring it back to what I shared with you, I don't deserve sex. I don't deserve anything. God gave me this life and the skill sets to serve other people and live out my purpose. I don't deserve anything beyond the life that I've already been given. So if you catch yourself in those thoughts, I would see that would be the problem. Now I could actually take it back to even something you said before, because you said I went to this party. I knew that there was going to be girls, Halloween, that comes with sex and lust, and we all know what that. If you had done the work in the beginning, and I'm not saying you needed to do this, Rob, because I don't think you have a major addiction, but if you were working through our program, here's what I would take you is, okay, did we know going into this party what we were going to be presented with? And had we done the necessary groundwork to prepare ourselves in those moments, so when we got home from the party, we weren't still struggling with these other thoughts, so forth and so forth. So the one with I deserve this, character; the other one, discipline. Just my opinion through the lens that I see things.
Definitely victim. I could like, when you repeated it back to me, it was victim mentality. I got home, I felt sorry for myself, and wanted to shake my fist at God.
And that's okay. I'm not Rob, you're not a horrible person. You're not